Are you a lawyer who wants more control over your time and your income? If you're tired of billable hours and somebody else controlling your schedule and not giving you the flexibility that you need, today's video is for you. Because today I'm going to be breaking down why opening your solo law firm might be one of the smartest moves that you ever make. And I've been there. I say this from a position of firsthand experience. I opened my solo law firm March 1st in 2016. And today we're going to go over some lessons learned, some, why you should go out on your own and what you have to look forward to, what the opportunities can be for you as a solo attorney. So the first one, of course, is, your time, your freedom, the flexibility to set your own schedule and to really build your law firm how you want to live your life. For a lot of lawyers that I talk to who are looking to go out on their own, like they don't necessarily usually, a lot of times, agree with how their current law firm is being run. That may not always be the case, but a lot of times I see that. Like they're not happy with the business model of their current law firm. They also want to have control over their client load and the cases that they take on. For some lawyers, they may have that flexibility in their firm, but for a lot of attorneys, they don't. They just take on whatever work is assigned to them. And then being able to, if you're like me, so when I went out on my own, my kids were little. So they're teenagers now, but at the time they were, 4 and 6. My son was 4, my daughter was 6. And so for me, in deciding to go out on my own, like my time was a big part of it, but also like my income was a big part of it. Like at the firm I was at, like I just wasn't gonna make a whole lot more money, right? Like every year I might get a pay raise of like maybe 10%, but like compared to being on your own, you are in direct control of what your income can be, right? If you rely on your annual bonus, which at my last law firm, we didn't even get annual bonus. Like there was no bonuses. So, but on your own, you can give yourself a bonus once a year at the end of the year. Or you can do a quarterly bonus. You get to decide. You get to make all those rules for yourself and your firm, and you get the direct benefit of whatever additional work you're doing, right? And so if you are working harder to create more revenue for the firm as a solo attorney, you directly realize that additional income. And you don't have to work as hard to make as much money as you're making right now, right? Because you're not going to have the firm overhead. You're not going to have to, make your contributions to not just overhead, but also the profit of the firm, right? Like you don't need to make as much money to earn what you're earning now when you go out on your own. And then also along those same lines, like you are in direct control of your own income. So that's a pro and a con. And let's explain why. So the work that you put into it, right? The income that you create in your firm for yourself, like that all falls on you, right? So if you have higher revenue in your second quarter, like you directly get that benefit. But if you don't, if your revenue is lower, then you're going to feel that hit also as a solo attorney, right? And so there is this notion that some lawyers are not a good fit to be a business owner. And that's okay. It's important for you to know though. So not all lawyers should be solos. It's not a good fit for everyone because you definitely have to keep yourself moving and keep doing things to grow your business, to grow your law firm, even when you don't want to. Because being a solo attorney, it's not enough to just be a good lawyer. Being a good lawyer is great, and you need to be a good lawyer, but that's not enough to have a successful business. When you go out on your own and become a solo, you are a business owner first, lawyer second. Like lawyering is kind of the smallest part of my day in my law firm. Running the business, closing the sale, that's more of what I do in my law firm. And I say that I'm a solo in that I'm the only attorney in my firm, but I do have support staff. And so I have support staff who can do like a lot of the legal work side of it. So I can continue growing the business and bringing clients in the door. Like that's my primary job as the business owner, as a law firm owner. Also, with your own law firm, you get to design it in a way that supports the values in your firm. You get to pick the client type, you get to pick the case type, right? And do the cases that you care about, that you have passion about. You get to set kind of like the brand of your firm, your personal brand, and who you are and how you practice law. For so long, when I was first an attorney, I definitely felt like I had to fit in this box of what an attorney is supposed to look like and how they're supposed to act and how they're supposed to talk and just all those things. And not necessarily because anybody directly told me that, but I was just continuing trying to fit myself into what I thought clients would be looking for in an attorney. And when I became a licensed attorney, I was 25. So I was pretty young. And a lot of times I felt like, and I know it to be true, that I was not who the client expected their attorney to be, to look like, or whatever. For pick your reasons as to why you may think that is. There's a number of reasons. But I definitely had like that insecurity when I was first practicing and at a firm. Whereas on my own now, especially I've been practicing, I can't believe it's been 16 years, but it's been 16 years now that I've been an attorney. Like, I don't have those issues anymore. Like, especially since going out on my own. And then that's been 9 years. I've been on my own. It was March 1st, 2016, I went out on my own. I don't have those insecurities anymore. Like, I will show up in my firm however I want to show up. And I do a lot intentionally so that when a client has a consult with me, they already know what they're getting before they've met with me, right? So I, do video content for my law firm. I have like, a welcome packet that they receive. So they know what to expect when they hire me. It's not like a surprise. And I'm confident in my skill as an attorney and who I am as a person that like, I know I'm not a good fit for everybody, and that's okay. And I think that's the part that took me a long time to figure out, is how to be okay with that and to know that if I'm not a good fit for this client, I've got 5 others who do want to work with me, right? And so a lot of that came from being on my own though, and figuring out who I was in an attorney and what my brand was and what was important to me. And it's important to me that I can be me, right? And so I'm still professional, right? There's not a question of not being professional. But if I want to have, and they're not very long right now, but if I want to have my really long nails, I'll have really long nails. If I want to wear a bright red lip, I'll wear a bright red lip. 15 years ago, lawyer Darcel would have never. I would have never. But I've just gotten to a place, and again, there's something to be said about building your own law firm from scratch. I think for any business, whatever business you are opening, to build something that never existed before and to create something, it's just like, wow, like you take a step back, like, I created that. This never existed until I made it exist. And I saw something, I don't know, a while ago that was like, the version of you that you are now, you 10 years ago dreamed of being this person today. And for me, that's so true, because 10 years ago, I hadn't opened my own law firm yet. I had I would say about September, October of 2015, I was like, okay, I'm opening my law firm March 1st, 2016. I gave myself about a 6-month roadmap, or not roadmap, but like runway to get my law firm open and to do the work that I thought I needed to do to be ready to open my own law firm. But me 10 years ago would have did dream of being a law firm owner and having a firm that, I've got a full calendar fully booked, clients, potential clients calling daily or emailing daily to meet with me and have me help them, and to just have that type of success that I've had now. And sometimes like you get so caught up in the day-to-day that you forget to slow down and remember like, wow, like I really worked really hard to get here, but I also like dreamed and didn't know it was possible. Like I didn't know when I decided to open my law firm if I can do it. Like there was a lot of self-doubt there as to whether or not I could figure out how to open a law firm and how to be successful at it. There was so much doubt, so much imposter syndrome, so much fear behind it. But I got to a point like where I was so unhappy at the law firm I was at that it got to a point where I felt like I had no choice. Like I have to leave, and I can't go work for a big firm downtown. Like it just wasn't going to fit my lifestyle. And again, my kids were younger and just what I wanted and my priorities as far as, being a lawyer. But I knew that I wanted to be able to figure out there's no balance. Like the term work life balance, I just think I don't like it, right? But I wanted to figure out how can I juggle having my home life that I wanted, having my personal life that I wanted, but also having a fulfilling career. Like, I had worked so hard to get through college and get through law school and to check, I'm a box checker, so to check all the boxes to do things to become a licensed attorney at 25. It's like, how can I create a career that works for me and gives me what I'm looking for, but also allows me to have my personal life that I want? And so, what that looks like for you and what your juggle is going to be may be different than mine, right? But if like a lot of lawyers I talk to who want to go out on their own, like they know that they want to go out on their own. But there's some doubt, there's some uncertainty, but at the same time, it's like they know that they know how to do hard things. They know that they are resourceful and can figure things out. And so when I'm working with my lawyers, my future law firm owners, my attorneys who are going out on their own, a lot of it is just giving them that roadmap, that guidance, that accountability to not give up on their dream and what they want to do, and to help guide them, through whatever obstacles they're working through. If they're like me and had, the fear and uncertainty about their ability to be a business owner, we work through that and get them through it, right? And so it's just being able to design something and to build a law firm that allows you whatever flexibility you need in your life. And it usually is some form of flexibility that my clients are looking for, right? They want, to be able to be virtual. They want to be able to work less hours, or they want to be able to have more direct benefit of their hard work. They're so tired of working so hard and creating so much income for somebody else. They know they could do it on their own, do it better, and be able to realize the benefit of all their hard work. On your own, when you go out on your own, when I did so with really small overhead. Like, I did not pay for things if I did not absolutely need them. And I'm talking everything down to like software. Like, when I went out on my own that first year of 2016, I did not have any kind of like client management software. I didn't even have QuickBooks. I literally had a Word document where I just filled out what revenue came in and what expenses I paid and what was left. Like, my poor CPA for that first year, but it wasn't that complex, right? It was my first year, but it's just, I didn't pay for things I didn't need. I think it was about $2,500 that I had when I opened my law firm. And that included my first month's rent. Right, I still have a brick and mortar office. I really like having a brick and mortar office. This is my home office, but I do have an actual office, and I'm still in that same spot that I was when I went out 9 years ago. And my first month's rent was like $820, so that was included in my $2,500. So if you're going out your own and you're going virtual and you're not going to have that rent, like, even though things are more expensive now than they were then, like, the technology and resources have come so far in these past 9 years that you still can open up on your own very small overhead. The technology available to you today that I didn't have, 10 years ago, and the practice management tools and virtual assistants and the automation, like, you don't need a big team to open a law firm. I mean, when I went out on my own, it was just me, myself, and I. I answered the phones, I did the emails, I did the consults, I did everything until I had the revenue coming in to slowly start adding people on, right? To hire my first assistant, to have the paralegal, to, hire my bookkeeper, right? I never did my own taxes. I would just never mess with that. But otherwise, like, I very slowly started to get the help that I needed, with the virtual receptionist. Like, there's so many options available to you now that, again, wasn't an option 10 years ago. So there really is no reason to not open your law firm, except for one. Across the board, I find that there is one reason that my law firm owners have not opened their own law firms, and it's been them. They have been their biggest obstacle. They have been in their own way. And my job in coaching you is to get you out of your own way, to pull you to the side, like, get out of the way. Like, we're going, like, let's go. You know what to do. You know how to do it. Like, let's go. Let's stop hemming and hawing. Let's stop kind of dabbling or thinking about it and you're writing out a business plan but not acting on it. Like, it's time to go, right? And so if you are ready to go, if you are ready to get out of your own way, to create the law firm that you have envisioned for yourself, to support your life. And a big part of what I do and why I do this work is that I want to help you to prioritize you. And so many times we don't prioritize ourselves. Like, we are the last one on the list, right? Everybody else gets taken care of first, right? Your current law firm, your bosses, your coworkers, your client, like, everybody else is taken care of, and you are at the bottom of your own list. You don't need to be at the bottom of your own list anymore. It's okay to move yourself to the top, because when you're at the top of your own list and you are your own number one priority, then you are in a better position to serve your clients, to serve the law firm, to do all the things that you need to do, right? You're not taking the scraps that are left over. You are going to be number one without apology, without feeling guilty for it, so you can in turn take care of business. So if you're ready to go and you want some help in opening your own law firm, feel free to reach out. My contact info is below. I'd be happy to help you and support you on your journey to becoming a law firm owner.